Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. You're watching All the Beer No Idea. I'm Baz. Right, we are going sort of local with this one, if you like, and we're heading off to a brewery from Mould, and we are going to Hafod Brewing Co. to take a look at their Freestyle West Coast IPA, coming in at 5.4%. It's in a 500ml bottle. Nice kind of label. Plain red bottle cap. This cost me £2.75 from a bargain booze that was next to a restaurant that I'd gone for something to eat with the missus. So when I saw the bargain booze next door, I thought I'll have a cheeky look in there, and I picked some up, and that's where I got this one from. So, glass is at the ready, bottle opener at the ready. So let's get it cracked open and see what we get. It is a little bit concerning. West Coast's, I mean, this being 5.4%. West Coast starting at that does seem a little bit low, so I mean hopefully it's going to be all right, but I would expect sort of a West Coast to be starting sort of really sort of around the 6% mark, to be honest, but we'll just have to see what we get. We'll get the rest in there. Did have a disappointing beer, like when I went in there I bought 5 beers and I'd done the Mould Breaker Pilsner. It must have been oxidized because it was horrendous. It looked awful, no life in it. It was awful. So hopefully, I mean, this doesn't look bad. The Pilsner looked awful. This does look West Coasty, if you like. So in a glass, not an awful lot of carbonation going up. This doesn't create much, this glass. Sort of amber colour beer, pretty much see-through, clear. Finger of white head, pretty much looks like a West Coast, I would say. So let's dive in on the nose and see what we get. This sort of style of beer, you want some sort of citrus notes, grapefruit, pine, with a big bitterness on the back end. That's what I'd want to be getting from this beer, but we'll see what we get anyway. Okay. Malty backbone to it. It's got a sort of sweet orange citrus aroma with maybe a tickle of bitterness in that aroma as well. Yeah, I mean, no sort of pininess in there. There's maybe a little bit of grapefruit or something on the nose, but not masses of aroma on there. So let's dive in and see what we get. Cheers, everyone. Okay, definitely changes on the back end, but let's do all the usual shit first that I normally do. It's got a big malty body. Big malty body. It's quite a decent body on the beer, in all fairness, but it's very much a big sort of malty body. Very good body, really, 5.4%. Carbonation's nice in it. It's a real sort of gentle carbonation, but it is there. It's a bit funny because it doesn't feel massively carbonated, but there is quite a bit of fizz there, but it's really soft in the mouth, which is nice. The beer's pretty soft, the mouth feels nice. So overall, the first bit of it is good. So let's dive in and give it some taste notes. Now, I don't know, maybe it's me. There's a big malty presence in this beer. Probably, I don't know, more than what I would expect. Malty, slightly sweet. A little bit bready on the back end. You're hit with the maltiness, you're hit with a bit of sweetness. The citrus notes come in there. Very, very little grapefruit sort of thing going on. You get the slightest of bitternesses that kick in for about 2-3 seconds. And then it goes malty and sort of sweet again. There's no sort of pine in there for me. I mean, yeah, it just feels too malty. It's malty on the front end. Like I say, that little citrus note comes in, that little bit of bitterness comes in. That's pleasant. But that's short-lived, and then, like I say, again, the maltiness kicks in on the back end. There's not a massive amount of bitterness, which is what I would expect really from a West Coast. There's no pininess in there. There's no resin, like pine resinous in there. I don't know really. I mean, as a standalone beer, it's pleasant. It's pleasant. 5.4%. You wouldn't have a clue you were drinking a 5.4% beer. That. There's no, it doesn't drink anywhere near that. There's no, like I say, the bitterness for me is always something that sort of makes a beer feel stronger, and it's not there. And the fact that it's only 5.4% and it doesn't even feel like 5.4% maybe shows how little bitterness there is in there, and maybe too much sweetness. As a standalone beer, like I say, it's pleasant. West Coast IPA. For me, you know, I'm not a West Coast IPA fan personally. If this was a full-on West Coast IPA, I should be really saying it does what it's supposed to do, but it's not for me. Now, this beer isn't making me do that, which says to me it's not really doing the West Coast IPA thing any justice. So, for me, Hafod Brewing Co.'s Freestyler West Coast IPA. Yeah, you might fool some people with it who maybe, you know, haven't really had a full-on West Coast IPA. But for me, it doesn't really do the style justice. Pleasant beer. But West Coast needs to be ramped up a bit for me to really sort of get that West Coast feel. So it's another disappointing one really. I mean, the Mold Breaker Pilsner was shocking. This is just big disappointment. Pleasant beer in its own right, but for me doesn't really do the West Coast style justice. So yeah, I'd drink it again if that was all there was. I wouldn't go searching for it. I mean, it's a West Coast for a start anyway, but I wouldn't go, even, you know, if I was a West Coast fan, I wouldn't go rushing out to pick that up. Doesn't do the style justice. So yeah, if you want to go and pick it up and give it a go, let me know what you think if you do. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. So that's it. I'm going to shut up waffling because I've spoken too much on this video. Like and share the video. Feel free to subscribe, and I will see you again soon. I don't even know what to say. I'm fucking just gone all tits up in it. See you on my next one. Cheers.